Europe's medieval cities look frozen in time, where stone streets, castle walls, and towering cathedrals still whisper stories of kings and crusaders. These places survived wars, plagues, and centuries of change. Yet they remain as vivid today as they were 700 years ago. From misty fortresses to seaside citadels, here are 10 medieval cities so well preserved, you won't believe they're real. Ready? Let's roam. Number 10, York, England. York's story stretches back nearly 2 millennia, but it was the Middle Ages that gave the city its soul. The Shambles, a narrow street of timber-framed butchers' shops, still leans inward as if trying to hide its secrets. Above the roofs rise gargoyles and gables blackened by centuries of rain. York Minster dominates the skyline, its stained glass larger than any in northern Europe. Inside, light pours through the Great East Window, completed in 1408, a shimmering Bible in glass. Walk the old stone walls at dusk, and you'll hear the same bells that marked curfew for knights and craftsmen 600 years ago. Number 9, Tallinn, Estonia. Tallinn's red-roofed skyline rises from the Baltic like a storybook brought to life. In the 13th century, it joined the Hanseatic League, a northern trading network that made it one of the richest ports on the sea. German merchants built tall, narrow houses with cranes on the roofs for hoisting goods. Many still bear the painted crests of their original owners. The city's lower town buzzed with market life, while the upper town of Tumpi housed nobles and bishops behind higher walls. Even the city's gates have names that sound out of legend, like Fat Margaret's Tower and St. Catherine's Passage. When snow falls and church bells echo across the harbour, the whole city feels suspended between winter and time itself. Number 8, Edinburgh, Scotland. Edinburgh was carved from volcanic rock, its medieval core running along the spine between castle and palace. The Royal Mile still follows the ridge of that ancient lava flow, where taverns, workshops, and chapels crowded together in the 14th century. The air smelled of peat smoke and brewing ale. Musicians played at corners where today's bagpipers stand. Beneath the cobbles lie vaults once used by smugglers and plague victims, ghostly reminders of life, when the city was both thriving and terrifying. Edinburgh's tenements rose 10 stories high, Europe's first vertical neighbourhood, proving how medieval ingenuity met limited space. At night, mist gathers below the castle, and lanterns flicker like lost stars, illuminating a city that still breathes its medieval past. Number 7, San Gimignano, Italy. High in the Tuscan hills, San Gimignano's stone towers rise like sentinels over vineyards and olive groves. In the 1200s, rival families competed to build ever taller towers as displays of power and pride. At the city's height, 72 pierced the sky. Inside the walls, frescoes tell stories of saints and merchants, and the scent of saffron, once the source of the town's wealth, still drifts through local kitchens. The Piazza della Cisterna remains the social heart, surrounded by arcades where traders once sold spices from the east. As sunset spills over the Tuscan hills, the towers turn molten gold, a skyline frozen between rivalry and beauty that earned San Gimignano its title as the Manhattan of the Middle Ages. Number 6, Mont-Saint-Michel, France. Off the Normandy coast, Mont-Saint-Michel seems to rise straight from the sea. In 708 AD, the Archangel Michael was said to appear to a bishop, commanding him to build an abbey upon the rock. Over centuries, monks, masons, and pilgrims turned that vision into stone. Its spiral streets climb toward the abbey's Gothic spire, each level revealing chapels, refectories, and ramparts, built to defy both tide and enemy. During the 100 Years' War, English forces laid siege for 30 years, but never conquered it. Even now, when tides sweep across the bay, the mount transforms from island to fortress and back again. From the top, the view stretches to eternity, a meeting of faith, endurance, and medieval engineering unmatched in Europe. Number 5. Rothenburg ob der Tauber, Germany. Few towns capture medieval charm like Rothenburg. Behind its unbroken city walls lies a maze of half-timbered homes draped in ivy, flower boxes spilling colour onto the cobblestones. In the 1400s, it prospered from the wine and textile trades, then fell into quiet obscurity after war and plague, a misfortune that accidentally preserved it. Today, the market square hosts the same festivals and processions that filled it 6 centuries ago. As the clock chimes from St. Jacob's Church, you can almost hear the footsteps of those who never left. Number 4. Dubrovnik, Croatia. The pearl of the Adriatic earned its freedom through stone. Once called Ragusa, Dubrovnik was a maritime republic that rivaled Venice, trading salt, silver, and silk across the Mediterranean. Its 2-kilometer wall system, built between the 12th and 17th centuries, protected a city famed for diplomacy and learning. Here, the first quarantine hospital in Europe opened to fight plague, and one of the continent's oldest pharmacies still operates inside Franciscan monastery. Walk the ramparts at sunset, and the Adriatic turns to liquid gold beneath you. The rhythmic crash of waves mixes with the toll of church bells, and you realize why poets once called Dubrovnik a city of stone and light. Number 3. Prague, Czech Republic. Prague is where myth and history meet. In the 14th century, Emperor Charles IV made it his imperial capital, founding the university, the Charles Bridge, and the new town. The bridge, guarded by statues of saints, connects a labyrinth of Gothic courtyards and alchemists' towers where legends of the Philosopher's Stone were born. Prague Castle remains the largest medieval fortress in existence, its spires of St. Vitus Cathedral piercing the skyline. Yet beneath the grandeur lie narrow streets filled with cafes and candlelight that seem untouched by time. When the astronomical clock strikes on the hour, tourists cheer. But those who listen closely can almost hear the echo of monks and metalworkers from 6 centuries before. Number 2. Bruges, Belgium. Bruges is a dream of canals and carillons, where every reflection tells a story. In the 1300s, it was one of the richest cities in Europe, its markets overflowing with cloth from Flanders and spices from the east. The guild halls around Market Square still display their carved emblems, lions, ships, and angels of prosperity. Inside the belfry, a 47-bell carillon rings out melodies once used to mark working hours and feasts. Artists like Jan van Eyck painted here, turning Bruges into the cradle of Northern Renaissance art. As twilight falls, the scent of chocolate drifts through narrow alleys, and lights ripple on the water, making it feel less like a city than a memory painted in motion. Number 1. Carcassonne, France. Crowning a hill in southern France, Carcassonne is the ultimate medieval stronghold. Its double ring of ramparts and 53 towers stretch nearly 2 miles, dominating the Aude Valley. Once a refuge for the Cathars, it was besieged during the Albigensian Crusade in 1209, and later rebuilt by royal engineers into a masterpiece of military design. The Château Comtal within its walls guarded trade routes linking the Atlantic and Mediterranean. From its battlements, you can trace centuries of warfare, faith, and restoration. At night, floodlights bathe the walls in gold, and the whole citadel glows like a crown above the countryside, a living monument to the endurance of medieval France. The Middle Ages may have ended long ago, but in these cities their spirit still lives, in every echoing bell, every worn stone step, every story carved into stained glass. Which of these medieval cities would you wander first? Tell us in the comments below. and let us know if we missed your favorite. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more cinematic journeys, and share it with someone who loves history as much as you do. Until next time, keep roaming.